Hey, what's going on, good people? Welcome to Russ Can't Fly. Woo-hoo!
Perfect.
Okay, so as I depart from Harrisburg International Airport, I was so discombobulated between taking off and talking to departure, and I hadn't done that in so long. I even freaked the GoPros out. Like the one camera turned off, the back one was like, I can't help you. But you can see I'm trying to dial in and get with the departure and regain my flight following. I will say that taking off out of Harrisburg, those folks were very, very helpful. They were awesome. They could tell that I am not that great on the radios and talking to departure and stuff, and they were the tower was great, departure was great. They were just really cool. So definitely appreciate all the ways in which they helped me depart Harrisburg.
All right, so that was a whole lot. I don't know if the cameras captured it, but I didn't care. I'm climbing out. I'm going.
Good morning, Harrisburg, Cardinal 34139.
Back to Doylestown, and it was a whole lot. All right, so I'm climbing out. So climb checklist, mixture powers where I want, taxi landing light comes off, and I'm climbing to 5.5. All right, so I don't know if you heard that. It was like, climb runway heading, wait for turbulence, 050, 2645, 126.45. I just noticed that if I just take the one out and I just say,
because I was having flight following and I was on Harrisburg approach and there was a lot of radio chatter, I got kind of cut off and forgot what I was going to say. But basically I was talking about frequency. If I get like a 125.45 rather than saying the one, it's just like 45.26 or 45.26. I seem to do better at memorizing what the frequency is.
All right, just trying to get above these clouds here. Whew. It's been eventful, but this is exactly the experience that I wanted, and it was definitely a little bit much for me at first, but we got it all figured out, and it's actually like full contact. So I'm probably going to lose some cameras. I forgot a charger, of course, and so yeah, that just kind of sucks. Since it's at my discretion, I'm going to go up, because if at 5.5, I think I'm going to be too close to these clouds here. So we're going to go. So it's going to be something new. I'm going to go up to 7,500. Never been that high. So still climbing out. Mixtures full rich. Okay, I got my taxi landing light off. Full tempo and pressure on, look good. And we're just going to climb out to 7.5. All right, almost at 7.5. Never been up here before. All right, 7.5. Build up my airspeed. All right. So cruise is pull our power. 75%. Start leaning her out. All right, so just cruising out. I'm at 7,500, and this is new. It's the highest I've ever been, and definitely interesting. Very smooth.
And I will say, this is the smoothest air I've flown in a long time. I mean, it was like glass. This is when it's so much fun, although it's always fun, but this is funner.
All right, so we're cruised out, just leaning out, and ground speed is 110 knots, 111 knots. Amazing.
Not bad for a little 152. Go, Sammy, go!
So we're cooking. All right, so I'm just listening because I have flight following again. So yeah, so I don't know how long everything is going to last on the cameras, but we'll see. We'll just keep flying here. All right, so 11:17. Man, this won't be long at all. So we are going 116 knots, y'all. 116 knots. in this 152.
That's what I show as well.
See, y'all be sleeping on Little Sammy. We getting it.
And I just want to let you know, I had cruise power put in on the throttle. And I got to tell you, we had an amazing tailwind. And I think being up a little bit higher in altitude, I have never had speeds in this like this before. But man, it was smooth. And Little Sammy was cooking.
So, at 116 knots, that's about 133 miles per hour. What? I have never, wait, 120 knots, y'all.
Approach 4 Victor Alpha, we're done at Grand Mall. We're ready
Wow.
to go to Colonel.
We must have a heck of a tailwind. I mean, we are cooking.
do a turn card or vectors for the straight in?
All right, we are cruising out. At one point, it was 115. I'm down to 110 knots ground speed. That's pretty darn good, y'all. Yeah, we are just humming along, making our way back to Doylestown. I am at 7,500 feet. I am going 110 knots ground speed. And I tell you, this is the fastest and highest I've ever flown. So, yeah, we are cooking.
And I know I keep repeating myself about how fast Little Sammy is going, but you know, I gotta say, this was just such a new experience for me to fly this fast and that high in Little Sammy, this little 152, and to see ground speeds like that. I mean, at one point I saw 116 knots, which is, I think, unheard of. So it was just exciting. And so because I was seeing these numbers, I just kept saying it because it was just exciting.
Cessna 94006, contact Philadelphia approach 123.8. Have a good one.
23.8 for 94006. Thank you so much for your help.
Delta 2630 Harrisburg International is behind the ridge night at 10 o'clock, 900 miles.
Insight, Delta 2630.
Delta 2630, clear visual approach.
Okay, so I left that sequence of communications with Harrisburg approach in as is. And you can see that there was some little pauses there. They weren't too long, but that's something I got to get better at. Got to get sharper at, you know, getting the frequencies and getting back quickly.
Philly approach, Cessna 94006, 7,500. Be diverting to Heritage Field for fuel.
November 94006, Philly approach. Philly altimeter is 3040. There's some VFR traffic 11 o'clock and 3 miles southwestbound at 6,500. The type is unknown.
Roger that, be looking for traffic.
So when I looked at my fuel gauges, I thought, you know what, let's not push it, especially since I had done a climb to 7.5, which I had not flight planned for. So just to be on the safe side, I thought, you know what, just divert to Heritage and get some more fuel. Don't be that guy.
I am going to go
November
to...
94006, traffic now 11 o'clock and 2 miles westbound at 6,500.
All right, look for traffic, Cessna 94006.
And November 94006, Philly altimeter is 3040. Verify your level at 7,500.
3040, and I'm coming back to 75.
Then November 006, that traffic's no factor. You can descend to VFR now, your discretion. You said you're going to Pottstown Heritage?
That is affirmative for 94006, descend at my discretion.
So I have to give all of you instrument-rated pilots so much props because I tell you, when things happen, they happen quickly and you have to be on top of it. So a little bit longer voiceover, but I just want to explain and be transparent. So you heard Philly approach ask me if I was at the right altitude given the altimeter setting, and I wasn't. I had dropped altitude because I was testing myself. I didn't really need fuel, but I thought just to be safe I would get fuel. But I would practice diverting to a different airport while I was having fight following. And so as you can see, I'm trying to change, dial in my frequencies, deal with the fact that approach is telling me that there's traffic, all of that kind of stuff. And I did lose some altitude. So this was all good practice, but man, this just makes me realize that I still have a lot to learn.
Philly approach, Cessna 94006. I have the field in sight.
November 94006, just Stop your descent at 4,500 for some opposite direction traffic. Right now they're 12 o'clock and 8 miles, level at 4,000 at the Cirrus.
All right, looking for traffic for 94006.
November 477 Whiskey traffic, 12 o'clock and 5 miles opposite direction. The Cessna 152, they'll be leveling off at 4,500.
Looking for traffic, 477 Whiskey.
November 94006, traffic is now 12 to 1 o'clock and 4 miles, level at 4,000.
All right, I believe I have the traffic in sight for 94006.
All right, November 94006, just maintain visual separation with that traffic, and you can continue a VFR descent, your discretion.
All right, I will VFR descent, my discretion. We'll keep traffic in sight, 94006.
November 477 Whiskey, traffic is 1 o'clock and 2 miles, has you in sight, and he's maintaining visual. He's going to continue his VFR descent.
477 Whiskey has traffic at sight at 1 o'clock.
November 7 Whiskey, roger, maintain visual separation with the traffic.
Maintain visual with traffic, 477 Whiskey.
November 94006, traffic has you in sight as well.
Roger that, 94006.
There are two things I learned about this exchange with ATC. First, ATC is awesome. These folks are consummate professionals, and they really are there to help us. I mean, and I always knew that, but man, when ATC pointed out that there was a Cirrus, whiskey headed my way, I didn't see them when they were about, I guess it was 5 miles out, but after a while I did get them in sight. But before that I had no idea. And so that was amazing. But the other thing is, I realized just how important flight following is. I mean, I didn't see them on my screen, or maybe I did, but the ATC had them in sight and definitely kept us separate. Especially since I was a little task saturated with the fact that I gave myself this diversion. I was really kind of busy trying to figure out how to set myself up for landing. So having that set of eyes on the other traffic was muy bueno. So hats off to ATC, really.
All right, so I'm doing a diversion. I'm diverting. So I am going to divert to Pottstown.
November 94006, you have Pottstown Heritage in sight there, 1 o'clock in about a mile.
Affirmative, field in sight, 94006.
November 94006, roger. Radar services are terminated, squawk VFR, frequency changes approved. Have a good day.
Thank you for your help. Have frequency change approved, squawk and VFR.
Still tripping over myself a little bit, and that had to do with the fact that I was doing a right pattern, and I'm not used to right traffic at all.
Okay, 122.7.
That was the other thing that was challenging, because I'm used to having the frequency in already and just switching over, but I only have one comm, and I had approach in there as I was talking, and I had Doylestown in there originally, and I did that purposely before I diverted. And so yeah, I put myself in a little bit of a pickle here, but it was definitely a great learning experience for sure.
Heritage Field, Cessna 94006. Gonna do a right base for runway 31, I believe, or runway 28, Heritage.
And again, you see me fumbling, and that's only because I did not plan to divert. I basically just gave myself this, you gotta divert, your fuel looks a little low, divert.
All right, Heritage Field, about a 2 mile found for runway 21, Heritage. All right, I'm very high.
County traffic, just 170.
I noticed something about me. Anytime I'm coming to a new field, or I put myself in a bind like I did purposefully here with this exercise, I always tend to come into the field high. And I guess it's just one of those things where I just feel more comfortable having more altitude to work with, especially if the situation is a little bit different than what I expected initially.
I'm still high, though.
All right, you know what time it is. Say
Still
it
kinda
with
high.
me. Cue the music!
Last notch of flaps. All right, so I diverted here for fuel because I just wanted to be safe. So, wow, who knew, right? All right, so let me turn this thing off and go get some fuel. All right.
So for the sake of time, I'm not going to show the fueling and all that kind of stuff, but I did want to practice getting fuel. You know, I want to do longer and longer cross countries than Little Sammy, and one of the things I'm going to have to do is get fuel. So this is another, you know, part of my practice, but I got to take you back to Doylestown, so let's make that happen. All right, so got some fuel and had to take a little break myself. So yeah, so I'm going to make my way back to Doylestown, and I basically did that simulated diversion because I wanted to challenge myself to get off a flight following and, you know, have to divert to a different airway and try to figure that all out while I was in the air, because that could happen, right? You have to divert. So instead of going straight back to Doylestown, I gave myself a challenge of diverting to Heritage Field in Pottstown, and you know, did it. It was a little rough. The landing was a little interesting, but I got here, got on the ground, and I actually did get some fuel because, you know, I wanted to make sure that I was legal, landing with the right amount of reserves and stuff like that. So I figured it just made sense to, since I was here, to go ahead and stop and get some fuel. All right, so time to kick this back into action, and you know, we'll let it do what it do. Master switch on. I don't think we need to prime. Clear prop.
So we're going to just make our way over here, do a run up, and get on back to Doylestown. This has been this has been an interesting flight. All flights are interesting. They really are. Just, you know, such an amazing thing to get to do. Elevator trim. So let's see. Trim is set for takeoff. Flaps are up. Mixture is full rich. Carburetor in. The carburetor heat is off. Fuel valve is on. Transponder is to alt. Throttle friction feels good. Landing light. Nav light on. Just pull up to the hold short and make our radio call. Heritage Field, Cessna 904006, departing runway 28. Gonna make a northeast departure, Heritage Field. All right, so
Heritage traffic, Mooney is 2 miles. We'll enter the downwind for 28. We'll look for departing traffic, Heritage.
that call field is clear.
And one of the things I was mindful of is I heard they were on the left downwind, but I heard it was a Mooney, and Moonies can boogie. So I was definitely not dilly-dallying on this takeoff at all.
Right. Heading indicators moving freely. Ball is opposite. All right.
Heritage traffic, Mooney is downwind 28. Have the departing traffic in sight, Heritage.
All right. Heels to the floor, full power. Engine instruments in the green. Oil temp, oil pressure, all look good. Airspeed is alive. And we're out. And a nice little blow. And it's gusty. Stay coordinated. I'm looking for 800. Gonna make my right turn out to the east. Flying runway heading. Ball is in the center. All right, turn out. Heritage traffic, Cessna 94006. Right crosswind turn out to the east. Last call, Heritage. Getting gusty, getting gusty.
Okay, so we've got fuel, headed back to Doylestown, and I don't want this video to go too much longer, but we're gonna make our way on back, and so let's cut to 10 miles out, and let's get ready to land. And you know, one of the treats, you get 2 landings for the price of 1.
Doylestown Airport. Automated weather observation 1556 Zulu. Wind variable at 05. Peak gusts 17. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 18 Celsius. Dew point 03 Celsius. Altimeter 3040. Remarks.
Alright, so got a little gust, and the wind is variable, so I'm just going to have to listen, hear what people are doing in terms of what runway they're using. Doylestown traffic, Cessna 904-006, about 5 miles west of the field. Going to do a straight in for 05, Doylestown.
Doylestown traffic, light port Delta Kilo is 5 to the northeast, 2,000 feet.
Doylestown traffic, Cessna 904-006. I got the lights for it in sight.
Well, 006, you're doing better than I can do.
And Doylestown traffic, Cessna 904-006, 3 mile final for runway 5, Doylestown. Alright, so let's get our landing light on, test the brakes. Looks good, carb heat is already on. Mixture is full rich. We're gonna have...
Doylestown traffic, light port Delta Kilo is now downwind at 2 miles, 45, number 2.
And Doylestown traffic, Cessna 904-006, short final, runway 5, Doylestown.
All right, so it's a little gusty, but it's time to put little Sammy on the runway.
Now
you know the
we're
deal.
now we're there.
Cue the music, yo.
There, keep it there. It's windy. Keep it coordinated. Left foot flat. Well, that landing was definitely sporty. Crosswind was like crazy and the gusts. But you know what? I'm feeling better as a pilot because I was able to handle, as you can see, man, there was like a lot of gusty crosswind going on. And, but we handled it.
All right, so I'm here. Woo! Made it, thank you, Lord. So thank you for flying with me. Fantastic flight, sporty landing, crosswinds, all kinds of stuff. Ah! All right, anyway, Russ can fly. I'm out.